Hi, my name's Shayla Sabin. I'm the assistant soccer coach at ASU. My last position, I was not coaching. I was the director of operations at USC in California. I moved all the way out here because I knew that it was going to be a great opportunity for me to really give back to the sport, what the sport gave me, and being an assistant coach would open up that door and be able to reach as many young women as I can and just mentor them throughout their collegiate experience and do the best as far as just teaching them and showing them everything that the sport can offer them and just kind of lighting the way for their reality when they step into the real world. And coaching has really allowed me to reach them in that a different light, and it's just something that I'm extremely passionate about. And hopefully that, when they graduate here and get into the real world, that they'll start coaching and give back to what the program gave them. So for my most memorable experiences, I'd have to say that during my sophomore year playing Division I soccer in California at Cal State Fullerton was the trip to Germany with our team. There was about 35 of us, including our coaching staff, and we trained during the summer, and we were able to go out there before our season started, and it was a really great experience because we were able to go and see how soccer is overseas and internationally, where it's so much bigger there than it is here, and seeing it from that perspective just really opened up a lot of our eyes to the culture and just the dedication and the passion. We remember playing, we had 4 different games, and there were people betting against us that we weren't even going to win one game, and we won every single game, and we tied one of them as far as our flight was 14 hours, and we landed, and we had to do 2 days back to back from the time we left from here, from the United States to there. And so we tied that game, but it was just a great experience to be there for a little over a week and taste the foods. Went to to Sweden and France, and just to really just see it from a different perspective. It really makes you appreciate coming back here to the States and what you have, and not to take it for granted. I'd say up until this point, there's, from my experiences, there's really, when I think of coaching and the coaches that I've had and that I've been blessed to have in my career, there's really one word that kind of elicits what their style was. And that one word I would use would be intense. And, I didn't really, until coming to ASU, I didn't really know that there was another way, that there was a different way to coach, that you can incorporate fun and you can have good times with your players and also win. And that's not really something that I had a lot of experience with, because everything had just been so serious because of the type of teams that I was playing on. And when you're in the top team each year, you've got this target on your back, and so we didn't have the luxury or the time to be able to play kickball at practice or have a swim day or a pool day like all the other teams were. And it's definitely something that I appreciate that I had, but I think coming to ASU, it's really opened up my eyes to see that there is a healthy balance, that you can be an effective coach and a winning coach and have a fantastic and winning program with having a balance of being someone who can relax and have a good time with their players and have a laugh here and there, but also get to work and get after it and produce a solid team, and a team that is kind of like a fist, that is just everyone's together, it's clenched tight. As soon as one person starts to deter from the plan, the rest of the teammates are pulling that player back in. And I really think that that's something that I've learned since being here and coaching here, is that I'm trying to find the healthy balance. And I think the girls have really helped me with that, just kind of trying to lighten my mood. And I'm usually 85% of the time I'm a very serious, focused person. And when the players come into my office and that it's different. It's they're able to see that I'm a lot more relaxed, that I can, kick back a little bit. I can take a 5, 10, even hour break and just kind of talk with them and just ask them how everything's going, how life's going, how school is, and just kind of share silly experiences with them. And that's what, I didn't have that experience. And so being here as, and just working with these ladies and, coaching alongside with Travis and just seeing, his approach and how he's able to just command the team and, bring them all together and also just enjoy their time here and, make those 4 years or 5 years if they're a red shirt just that important and that special to each one of them, and just something to where it's a memory that they'll never forget, and they're not going to have negative opinions or feelings about it. They're going to have a smile every time it gets brought up in 10, 15, 20 years from now. And that's definitely something that I'm learning to do, and it's a slower process, but I'm just kind of taking it day by day or season by season and learning how to adapt and modify just my coaching philosophy, my rigor, my intensity to just kind of channeling it and making it more about the girls and more about the team and more about each one of them individually and what they like, how to coach each one of them. And they're all very different. Some players like the intensity, some players don't respond well to that. And so that's definitely something that I've learned along the way. The reason why I got into coaching is because I found myself, I received my credential in physical education and I was teaching. It was very difficult in California to find a full-time position. And so I was doing whatever I could to get by. I was substitute teaching, and I was traveling anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour just one way to be able to teach at a school and substitute. And I would also do my private trainings on the side with players of all ages. And I was also coaching at my local high school where I played soccer at. I was the assistant coach of the varsity team. So I did that for 6 years while I was actually a player at Cal State Fullerton. So I would drive down during the games on Friday and Sunday, and I would, be there for that. And that's what really just triggered my interest in the field and really started to develop my coaching philosophy and why I like to do what I did and how I like to lead. And there's many different varieties of coaches. And I think for me, to sum it up, the main reason why I do what I do is because of just wanting to give back to the sport, what the sport gave back to me, and being able to just set an example, for these young women and here at ASU and just all of the players that I've, been able to coach. And, my ultimate goal is to just help them make that transition from, being an adolescent playing and then being able to produce and see how hard work and dedication and having goals and aspirations, and watching the women's national soccer team and, when you're a little kid thinking, that's going to be me, I would love to be able to do that, and just having, igniting that spark. And that's what I enjoyed the most about coaching, is being able to ignite that spark within players and kind of just pull them off to the side and have those one-on-one conversations with them, during a game, during a throw-in, just any opportunity that I could have to kind of reach them in a different way, more from, I guess you could say more from a sports psychologist standpoint, just kind of calming them down, refocusing them, making sure that they're just staying, trying to have as much fun as they can, not taking themselves too seriously, never underestimating their opponent, and just going out and playing the game and doing everything that they can to win. And that's what it's about for me, is just leaving it all out on the field. And so what propelled me into coaching was just finding myself at a standstill with teaching, and this was always in the back of my mind. I knew that coaching was going to be somewhere in my future. I always thought about coaching at the collegiate level, and it wasn't until I got hired at the University of Southern California, and I was the director of operations there for the women's soccer team. And it just really opened up my eyes how much how much goes on behind the scenes, because you don't realize that when you're a player. You know, the bus is there, your food is there, your order's perfect, your clothes are washed, your uniform's, you know, ready for you in your locker. You've got all of your gear is purchased for you, your cleats, everything. You just, you know, you show up and you do your job, and your job is to win, and that's what you do. And that's what I was used to from my experience playing at the collegiate level. Extremely hard work. Gosh, there's so many times that I remember where how much easier my life would be if I could just be normal. But that's what really makes me appreciate you know, coaching, and that's what, you know, propelled me into this position is, what can I do? What can I give back to these women and to these players that I coach, and how can I reach them? And it's not only just for me being their coach, but it's also being a mentor and making sure that they are, you know, getting everything that they can out of it, and they feel just this sense of respect for the game, and something that they'll always look back on and smile about.